I'm making this video so, just to give some tips to those who are living and working in America for the first time on this journey. And there's some of the things that I learned, that would help ease into the settlement. And I have about 4 tips, so here we go. So the first tip I want to tell you is about US bank accounts. Now, they come in different names that you may not understand, and you're not really sure which one to pick from. I'm going to tell you some of the most common ones. The first one is Chase Bank, second is Wells Fargo, then you have Capital One, TD America, and Bank of America. Now you can choose any of these banks to bank with, and there's some other bank names as well, but these seem to be the ones that have the more cash machines available for you. The reason that's important is that when you use your debit card into another bank's cash machine, you're going to be charged what's called an ATM fee for using it from a different bank. So choose a bank that has lots of ATMs around, and any of these banks should be able to suffice to get cash into your bank account from when you earn money from your workplace. Okay, the second tip is Social Security number. Now, you need this because it's going to pop up everywhere on the paperwork that you're going to have to fill out, from the workplace to the doctors to dental. And you also use it for like security questions. They might ask you for your last 4 digits of your Social Security number. So to get that, all you need to do is go to your local Social Security office. Bring your documents such as your passport, proof of employment, where you live currently, and then just say, can you help me get one? And they'll be able to produce and generate one for you. Now, an identity card is something else that you want to do admin-wise, so you can put yourself into the database. When you're, again, filling out forms, they might ask you, do you have a driver's license or identity card? And if you pull out your identity card, that's a US-based identity card, so you're in the US system. The identity card can be applied for at the Department of Motor Vehicles. Once you go through the paperwork, you get a little card, and you can use that to identify your age when you get carded. Also, it's the precursor, and you've already done like the first stages of prep work for your driver's license, which I also recommend. Like, I was driving on my UK license for a year, and then after a couple of months, after that a year and 1 month, I was going through the process of getting my driver's license. But because I already did the identity card, I didn't have to go from scratch and get all the paperwork. I should show my identity card, and they just say, okay, just book your tests and go from there. So the identity card just kind of helps along with first US-based identity card, and then later getting your driver's license. Now, some people think it's wrong to have a credit card, but I recommend highly that you apply for a credit card in the US as early as possible, because when you come to the US and you apply for a regular standard credit card, you're going to be declined. Why? It's because you don't have any credit history, any US credit history. You may have credit history from your place of origin country, but when you come to the US, you're seen as a foreign alien, a visitor, so you might have to start from scratch. So there's one good way, which I did, is to get a secured credit card. Now, a secured credit card is it's a normal credit card, but you have to put your own money in as the credit limit. So you put $500, that becomes $500 of credit line. And then what happens then is that you use that to pay off small amounts of groceries, shopping, restaurants, going out and stuff. And then over a month, as you're paying off, you show the credit card companies that you are trustworthy with a credit card. And then soon, the credit card companies will mail you, application forms to get a credit card. Another thing to get a credit card is that you can't rent a vehicle without a credit card here. You can't use a debit card. You have to use a credit card. There's one time I was off-site, working in San Francisco, and I only had a debit card. And so when I was reserving or paying for stuff at the hotel, they'll put it out on my debit card, which came out my bank account really quickly, which diminishes how much cash I can use, during that trip. Whereas if you had a credit card, you can then just put that on credit and then later pay it off later. And also, having a credit card protects you from fraud. So those are one of the reasons to do it. What do I recommend? I think the top ones that are out there is the Capital One. Has a secure credit card. I think there's one from Citigroup, and there are some other credit unions, but those are the ones that seem to be pretty friendly, and you can start with those. So those are my 4 top tips when you come to America for the first time and admin wise. So I hope that you enjoyed those tips, and you should be able to settle in a little bit more quicker, having the documents out of the way as soon as possible as you land. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.